From owning questionable artwork to having inappropriate chats with minors, Kris Tyson is getting dragged on the internet for being a creep. She's gone from being a core member of the MrBeast crew to becoming the biggest stain on the MrBeast brand in just a few days. And it's possible that this is just the beginning of the controversy surrounding Jimmy's longtime friend of 12 years. My name's Ryan, and we're gonna take a closer look at the allegations and evidence that has been brought forward against Kris Tyson in the past few days, starting from where it all began. The current controversy came to light when a small YouTuber called Adrox posted a video on the 16th of July titled, "This video will make you hate Kris Tyson." In this video, Adrox talked about Kris's involvement with the controversial artist Shadman, which alone is a massive red flag. For those who don't know, Shadman is one of the most infamous artists on the internet. He primarily draws NSFW artwork depicting lovely characters, which is an archetype defined as a young or young-looking girl character in Japanese anime or manga. At one point, he even posted corn depicting his own mother. But that's not even close to the most disturbing things he's done. In 2016, he even created a stylized drawing of Keemstar's daughter, who was just 7 years old at the time. Put simply, Shadman is one of the biggest degenerates on the internet, and Kris was apparently a big fan of him. She'd often reply to Shadman's tweets, like when he posted a picture of an underage anime character, Kris replied to it by saying, "Please Shad, please," implying that she wants Shadman to draw NSFW artwork of this character. At one point, Kris even accidentally opened Shadman's website while streaming to an audience of mostly children. What makes Kris's appreciation for Shadman's twisted artwork even more clear is that she even purchased one of his drawings, even though it's clearly depicting a character that resembles an underage girl. Kris even proudly mentioned that she has this Shadman drawing hung in her living room. And sure enough, we can see a print of the same drawing hanging on the wall during the MrBeast video that's titled, "Tipping Pizza Delivery Guys $10,000. We can even see Jimmy noticing the drawing during the video. Though MrBeast recently edited out this whole section from his video after the controversy came out. However, here's the real shocker. Shadman's twisted artwork featuring minors is just the surface of the dark and twisted Kris Tyson saga. Alongside the screenshots of her interactions with Shadman, a number of other disturbing tweets from Kris surfaced as well. Like a tweet from 2016 reading, "Nothing gets my knob cranking like some ugly," and another tweet from 2017 which states, "That bitch looks good for a 4-year-old. Now when these tweets surfaced, some people argue that Kris wasn't being serious and that these were nothing more than some overly edgy jokes, which is a possibility. However, this argument quickly loses steam when we consider the fact that Kris actually paid for explicit art depicting underage characters and hung it in her living room. More importantly, even if we do acknowledge these tweets are just edgy humor, joking about liking inappropriate depictions of underage girls is obviously extremely creepy, which is exactly the justification some people use to absolve Kris of any wrongdoing. With one such comment on Adrox's video stating, "Why is everybody acting like Kris is a predator for engaging with tweets about these years ago? Yeah, it's weird, but it's nowhere near being a predator." But before Kris could use a similar justification to dodge the controversy, what unfolded next would deliver the final blow to her reputation. Because following these allegations, the internet discovered a video that YouTuber Prism42 posted on June 14th titled, "Kris Tyson talked inappropriately to a 13-year-old. And this is where Kris Tyson's dwindling reputation passed the point of no return. According to the evidence, Kris had been inappropriately talking to a very young boy who's known online as Lava. There are many screenshots of Kris's weird messages to Lava, such as sending him a snap with the caption, "Coming for America," calling the young boy dad, and even posted tweets saying stuff like "love ya" to someone she knows was just 14 years old at that point, while Kris herself was around 22. Which is once again weird, but not as bad as her next tweet which reads, "I posted some fire news for you, please no share." In other words, Kris here admitted to sending explicit images of herself to someone she knows is underage. These disturbing conversations, combined with Kris's interest in Shadman's art and previous creepy tweets, made most people reach a similar conclusion, which is that Kris is a PDF file. A reply to these allegations on Twitter simply reads, "Not surprised," alongside a screenshot of one of Kris's tweets regarding lovelies. This sparked a complete outrage in the online community, to the point that both Kris and MrBeast's names started trending on Twitter and have since received over 250,000 tweets. During this time, Kris also wiped her Twitter account clean, something that many saw as a way to hide even more damning evidence from getting discovered. However, while everyone else was busy grilling Kris for her PDF file behavior, the alleged victim, Lava, released a shocking statement that surprised everyone. On July 22nd, Lava referred to the countless videos YouTubers were posting on this subject, and had this to say: "These videos are massive lies and twisting the truth. Ava never did anything wrong and just made a few edgy jokes. I was never exploited or taken advantage of." He then asked the viewers to spread his word, and asked these YouTubers to quote, "stop spreading the lies." He also posted a reply to this tweet, doubling down on this original statement. "I'm not a victim, and I'm not backpedaling any statements I've already made. Everything I've stated is still very true. Nothing bad happened between me and Kris. People are creating lies around my name." This was quite the shocker, since no one was expecting Lava to come out and defend Kris, instead of exposing more of her depravities. This statement also created a moral conundrum for people who wanted to make Kris pay for what she did to Lava. But if Lava doesn't even see herself as a victim, what right do internet strangers have to tell him otherwise? That said, there is a potential answer to this moral uncertainty that is perfectly summed up by a reply to Lava's statement, which reads: "You were a child and he was a grown man, messaging you privately and being very inappropriate with you. You may not see yourself as a victim, but in a society where children should be protected, it has failed you, and he, as a grown man, should have realized your age and not engage at all. He had nothing in common with a child when he was pushing 30. It's f***ing weird." Penguin Zero or Charlie also had a very similar take to this reply while covering this story.
And I'm not trying to be some kind of armchair psychologist, because I'm just, at the end of the day, a little reptile brain idiot, but I really do feel like in a situation like this, it's very difficult to process just how inappropriate or unacceptable something was when you lived it. But in reality, no child should have this kind of relationship with an adult where you're joking about sending to a minor or making edgy jokes about coming for America. So while the person here might not feel like a victim, it really is completely unacceptable that Ava Tyson would be communicating with them like this. It really is.
Mudahar, on the other hand, from Some Ordinary Gamers, focused on an entirely different perspective.
Now, at this moment in time, to be honest with you, I really can't just make somebody a victim if they keep claiming that they are not. And this is one of those things where obviously people had basically started to look at this whole controversial situation and wonder, is this realistically, just an actual really messed up situation? Or is this a possible politicized situation where, because of what, Ava Tyson's, personal characteristics are, maybe it's used as a political topic point to make an entire group of people look like, groomers and whatnot, okay?
And while Lava's statements were still being debated, the situation got even worse for Kris. Before Kris had the chance to address existing allegations, two more alleged victims of her grooming came forward with their stories. First of these was Twitter user Lil No Name For Real, who posted a screenshot of their conversations with Kris while they were 14 and Kris was around 22. The attached screenshot showed Kris, once again, referring to another minor as dad, and also sending the same kissing face emojis she did to Lava. Some people even doubted if the screenshot was even legit, but Lil No Name For Real put an end to their doubt by posting a video that clearly shows that yes, these messages are indeed from Kris. The second victim that came forward, known as Nathan W., posted a video in a tweet stating, "Ava Kris Tyson from Mr. Beast preyed upon me when I was 15, with claims that are extremely disturbing if they're true."
Kris Tyson from Mr. Beast used me and manipulated me and did very inappropriate things with me while I was about 15 years old. Running Kris's Discord server, helping him set up his Twitch streams and moderating them, as well as other technical back-end things that he needed help with. This Discord server that we were a part of had about 10 people in it, most of whom were minors. I'm not sure how they got in there, other than me and Lava. This turned into us having lots of private conversations with Kris and playing video games with him for hours on end. Not only did we do a lot of unpaid work for him that he promised he would pay us for, he would also frequently bring up sexual topics that was definitely not appropriate to bring up around 15, 16-year-olds, especially with him being 20, 21 years old. He would even go as far as linking me several different corn and videos throughout the time of me talking with him.
During this video, Nathan also made a very serious accusation against Lava.
I was actually friends with Lava GS at the time, who is the main victim of Kris that everyone has been talking about these last few days, who claims he isn't a victim, but we all know he is, and we all know he probably got paid off.
So according to Nathan, the reason Lava refuses to acknowledge Kris's behavior as grooming is because he was paid off by someone, though this is just his word against Lava's, since there's no evidence to prove either side of the argument. Things had gotten dire for Kris by this point, and there was hardly anything she could do or say to save her sinking reputation. But while waiting for Kris and Jimmy's response to all of these allegations, people noticed something strange. There was a surprising lack of harsh criticism and backlash from many of the prominent YouTubers and streamers. This was first pointed out by Sneeko in a video he posted.
Pokimane and Kenya, these two Twitch streaming females, where's the consistency? When are you gonna go and disavow Kris and Mr. Beast? You have way more information. You actually have the receipts, and you haven't said a word yet. Immediately, Dr. Respect, ew, disgusting, worst person ever. Kris from Mr. Beast silent. And you know why?
XQC also shared a very similar sentiment in a post stating, I follow mostly influential creators here, yet most have been silent about the Kris Tyson situation. Pretty deviant behavior across the board. Can't wait to read some of the cope justifications and why it wasn't addressed. And while creators like Pokimane and Valkyrie did eventually respond, people immediately noticed a difference between this and their response to Dr. Disrespect's similar situation. Pokimane's response to Kris's allegations is just a general statement and doesn't directly criticize Kris's actions in any way, stating, I don't know all the details regarding the Avia situation, but I want to make it clear, any inappropriate behavior towards minors is unacceptable, regardless of who you are. In comparison, her response to allegations against Doc was a lot less nuanced, simply stating yuck to show her disgust. It's the same case with Valkyrie, who responded to Doc with a pointed witty remark, calling him Dr. Disgusting. Some on the other hand are defending Poki and Ray from these allegations, like Twitter user Ray, who states, the way people are treating Valkyrie and Pokimane over this Ava situation makes me so sad. This happened in one day. I still don't fully know WTF is going on. Creators didn't speak up against Dr. Disrespect until he made a statement himself. Ray and Poki made statements condemning the behavior. What more do you want? Though as these responses from creators were pouring in, one man came out with a statement that could spell disaster for Mr. Beast. Jake the Viking, who used to be a core member of the Mr. Beast crew, dropped this bombshell claiming that Jimmy knew, referring to the allegations against Kris. If this were to be true, it would mean that Jimmy not only hid the vile actions of his close friend, but also allowed her to keep working on the Mr. Beast channel where she'd have access to all of the fans, many of whom are underage. He also came out with a longer statement talking about the lack of energy from other creators. This is why all of your favorite creators are fake and have no backbone. Doc gets accused of talking inappropriately to a minor with no evidence, everyone attacks him and runs his name through the mud. He loses sponsors, partners, everything before a drop of proof is presented. Kris has actual proof, screenshots, recordings, both audio and video, a confession from a victim, and everyone who jumped Doc is f***ing silent. Where's the energy? Where's the outroar? Everyone who hasn't said a word should be ashamed. You're soft and pathetic. Grow a pair. In the meantime, another former Mr. Beast employee also posted a video stating that Mr. Beast was aware of Kris's behavior. He also claimed that everything that's come out till this point is only the tip of the iceberg.
My name's Dawson. I worked at Mr. Beast from February to May of this year, 2024. Kris is the tip of the iceberg. And when Jake the Viking says Mr. Beast knew, yeah, Mr. Beast knew. I heard many times that Ava, Kris Tyson, is a major liability, but they can't get rid of her because she's already threatened legal action and she knows too much. And when all this information comes out about everything that she knew, everything other people know, I promise you on everything Mr. Beast has done. Amazon, if you can get your money back, get your money back.
However, despite all of these theories and speculation, both Kris and Jimmy were completely silent on the matter. That is until Kris came out with a statement that surprised everyone. The thing is, Kris is no stranger to controversies, the biggest of which was over a year ago when she came out as transgender. This immediately sparked tons of drama, with people calling her everything from a bad parent to unloyal to her ex-wife. During that time, commentary YouTuber SunnyV2 also posted a video titled, Why Kris Will Soon Be a Nightmare for Mr. Beast, in which he talked about how Kris being trans can become a disaster for the Mr. Beast brand.
The Kris Tyson situation could become a complete disaster for Mr. Beast brand.
However, this video received tons of backlash, and Jimmy himself defended his friend stating, yeah, this is absurd. Kris isn't my nightmare, he's my American friend and things are fine. All this transphobia is starting to piss me off. So everyone was expecting Kris to stand her ground and present some kind of counter-argument. But that is not what happened at all. On July 24th, Kris posted her statement on Twitter, completely backing out with any fight. I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments if it hurt or offended anyone. It was not my intent. Seeing recent events, we've mutually decided it's best I permanently step away from all things MrBeast and social media to focus on my family and mental health. However, while she apologized, she still stayed adamant that she is not a groomer. I want to add, I never groomed anyone. The person who gets brought up these accusations at LavaGS has vocally supported that they are false, and equated her actions to be nothing more than edgy jokes. To lump these two factors together to create a narrative that my behavior extended beyond bad edgy jokes is disgusting and did not happen. In past years, I've learned that my old humor is not acceptable. I cannot change who I was, but I continue to work on myself. And as expected, most people did not receive this non-apology very well. As one reply pointed out, yeah, if you have to use the word if, then it shows you not only don't fully realize the pain you've caused, but you're not actually sorry at all. You're only sorry you got caught. However, Kris did not post any more statements after that, and now it was Jimmy's turn to make his stance clear. But in contrast, his response was exactly what most fans expected. A day after Kris's response went out, MrBeast posted his own statement on the matter, stating that, over the last few days, I've become aware of the serious allegations of Ava Tyson's behavior online, and I am disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. During that time, I've been focused on hiring an independent third party to conduct a thorough investigation to ensure I have all the facts. That said, I've seen enough online and taken immediate action to remove Ava from the company, my channel, and any association with MrBeast. I do not condone or support any of the inappropriate actions. I will allow the independent investigators the necessary time to conduct a comprehensive investigation and will take any further actions based on their findings. So there's still a lot that can come out of this situation, and if it does, we'd be sure to cover it in part 2 of this video.